Get your sticking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome everybody back to VP4 TV. We've had a quick update in the schedule from the one that I was about to post. Matches have been added. We've got two matches tonight, both in the one-loss side, race to 13. The first one, of course, between REELPOLANDPOWER, who now represents Poland, and Bedhead from Sweden. And that's going to go at the top of the hour. It's about 6 minutes away or so. And the match to follow that will be, let's see if this will work. That one, between Brainful Out, representing the United Kingdom, and Nick from Bulgaria. Now that's going to go in 2 hours time, so the match between Stubb and Bedhead should be over before that match is about to start, and we'll be joining that one after this one is finished. Now the bracket I was talking about, if I can get that one to work, we've got the two matches tonight. We've got Bill Inspector Dawn on Saturday at 8:30 my time, and then on Saturday at 9 PM we have Albinario and Bankster. So two matches overlapping one another. I'll be doing the Bill Spector Dawn one. I won't be doing Albinario Bankster. We'll just keep an eye on the score, and then of course I have to get to bed because I'm up early on the Sunday morning. And then on Sunday at 7 PM, which is, well, that again, this is where it's a bit confusing the way that this time thing works. The clocks go forward in the UK at 1 AM on Sunday morning. They go forward by an hour, and we'll be into British summertime at that point. So according to Steve, the match between One Pocket Slim and One Pocket Slim and Semi Pro will start at 6 PM on Sunday. So we'll need to double check that on Sunday that everything's okay there as far as the time that has been set. And then finally, the extra match that has now appeared on the bracket is the one between Larry and Cobra. That, of course, is a round 5 match, and that will go on Tuesday. So that is about 6 days away, and I will be finished my shift on Tuesday, and then I have my 2 days off, so there'll be no problem and me getting that match. That is due to go ahead at 6:30 or 5:30 British summertime. I'm totally confused. But anyway, Bill's already predicted 13-11 to Bedhead. Good afternoon to Vertical Liquid. Welcome to anybody else. The good news is that I'm checking my on-screen chat app that I have on my main monitor, and we are definitely connected to YouTube. Hence why Bill and Vertical Liquid, their chat is both coming through. So we've got that fixed. Again, I don't recall Steve saying he would be here. I would like to think he would have wanted to be here, but well, he's certainly come alive in the lobby, which is a good sign. He's now not in away mode. I'll do a quick post again, and we'll keep an eye out for him in Discord. So, Stub has his flag, or at least he will once I change it to the right screen. Good afternoon to Spectre Dawn. Welcome to Dwight. So Stubbs got nothing that he can blame anybody for. He's got his flag, he's got his country that he wants. The deal was done. He's typing in lower caps, although that might not last long after this match tonight. We'll soon find out. We know what Stubb is capable of, but we also know the bad things that he's capable of as well. Bedhead also, plenty of Bedhead cuts. He's going to run out of luck on those. So it's who can take the most advantage of each other's mistakes, because there will be mistakes. And I think that it could run very close, or one of them could run away with it. It's hard to judge. You know, on a good day, Stubb will run racks if he can get the brake working, and so will Bedhead. So it's really a close toss of a coin the way I see it. I'm not sure what way to go. It could run really close, and it could go all the way. And Stubb's already at it in the lobby. He's already at it in the lobby. Right, I'm going to do. I think I'm a bit too soon, but I'm going to do a quick check and see. Hang on.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chaplin, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Well, good afternoon to Steve.
Yep, good afternoon, good evening.
We're all here. Steve will decide who's going to win, because I'm not prepared to.
Well, I don't know. I mean, both these guys are capable of playing pretty good, and both of them are capable of struggling and making a lot of mistakes. So this is a real tough one to call. I think it's a pretty even match.
Yep, it'll be the usual things. Bad rolls of the ball, poor safeties, dry breaks, the usual thing, unforced errors. Stubbs probably. I mean, if you go by the way recent history's gone, Stubbs going to make more unforced errors if he's going to start banging at balls and get sort of desperate ways of playing rather than playing with common sense. We'd like to think that he's going to have to work out that, you know, Bedhead isn't a mug. He's not there just to make up the numbers. He's well capable, and so he has to give Bedhead that respect, which I think he will, because he knows he'll get a doing if he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think the break obviously is going to be important, and then I think who handles tough situations, tough tables, you know, safety play, pushing out, who does that the best? Because I'm expecting both of them to not miss a whole lot of balls. We've seen some cue ball mistakes from both of them in the past, so that's liable to happen. But I mean, easy tables, they're both probably going to run out, so it's really going to come down to the more difficult situations where we'll see who can handle that the best.
So we're in the room. Bedhead's keen to get underway. We'll have the lag, and of course race to 13. And welcome to semi-pro. Well, we've already got 17 people watching. I'm sure there'll be a few more.
We've got one for Poland, Spectre Dawn 1312, and then a bunch for Bedhead.
Welcome to Chimpy.
You know, Bedhead played decent his last match. He made some mistakes with the cue ball that ended up costing him.
Yeah, Stubbs doing the old let him stew technique. Bedhead just practicing his lag. Which is the one thing that I say a lot of guys should do. You should just practice the lag, and that way you can get your mouse dialed in better, because you should be getting that cue ball within that first diamond and below it, well below it.
You would think that he'll have the advantage on the lag after being able to practice it over and over again. You get a good feel for it doing this.
Welcome to Mark, welcome to Spectre, welcome to Repetition. Yeah, Stubb is box office, he brings in the crowds. Here we go, Stubb on the right hand side. We've got a good luck from both players, and Bedhead is going to win it, and that is almost nailed.
Now that's no surprise after all those practice attempts.
Yeah, get a few practice attempts in, get the feel of the table.
Yeah, I mean it's one of these situations here. You kind of got to wonder who's going to start off quick and not be nervous, and who's going to struggle. Well, I think big advantage if you can come out of the gate quick, and Bedhead certainly has the rack to do it. I mean, this is sitting really good.
Yeah, 1 and 8 is going. I mean, this at the moment is all over.
Yeah, I think this is probably the toughest shot he's going to shoot here.
That's exactly it. The thin cut into the side. I mean, he's not. Well, hang on a minute. It needs to bounce. Or he'll play the bank. Let's have a quick look at this bank. He'll still cut it, but he's fine.
Yeah, it just came up a little short on that. But, it's pretty much a given that for both these guys, if they have a break in a table like that they're going to run out. If they don't, then it's kind of a big fail, really, because they both do this part of the game really well.
Yeah, I've got problems with some of my little intros as well. The audio was missing. The background music was missing. I'll have to reinstall those.
Well, decision on how to play this here. I'd come out and probably shoot it in the same pocket. He may play for the side here.
No, but he has played it for the side.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that either. You just got to be comfortable with the ball speed off the rail.
Well, Semi, what I would do is I'd switch over to Twitch and see if it's any better. That's what I would do. Twitch is usually better than YouTube. So, Bedhead won that lag, broken ran.
Now the question is how many racks. He breaks and runs 4 or 5 racks, and all of a sudden, Stubb sitting in the lobby and letting Bedhead practice begins to look like a bad decision. Well, no, I'd be playing safe here probably. you can bank this, but it's not really that great a shot.
Well,
You're
see,
not guaranteed to come up with a shot.
the
on
problem
two.
is it's difficult to get away from this one ball.
Well, you're going to take the one ball, 3 rails, try to get it to run between the 5 and 8, and let the cue ball go forward to the end rail. You know, you got to hit this pretty hard, really.
Well,
to get action.
He's looking at his options yet, but
okay, well, here's the thing, guys. If you got this and you don't like it, you're not sure you can shoot the shot, push out. You can always push out here. You do not have to do anything. And there he goes. He's going to push. So that's always an option. You can always push out. The question is, what kind of push out are you going to do? And that's a little tougher. You know, this is I'm shooting this every time if I'm stub. This is just bank the one ball off the long rail down to the middle of the end rail and put the cue ball behind that 5, 6, 6, 8, 4. Now, this kind of shot, it isn't difficult, but if you don't practice this, so you're used to hitting off that rail at a thin angle, it's kind of tricky. This is a shot that comes up all the time in pool, and stub right off the bat acts like stub, and see, that's a shot you play safe on every time. That was a crazy shot, and Bedhead's going to make him pay here. If stub's going to play like this, he's going to get drilled.
Yep,
he's got no chance doing this.
Well, 2 ball goes, 4 ball is handy. Now, I would actually I'd want to come back off this to make sure I've got a decent angle on the 4. Or does he want to roll through, or does he want to come back? I'd be coming back.
You could shoot a little kill shot here.
Yeah, he's just come back. Oh, wait a minute, hang on.
Yeah, he came back, so it's straight in. He's going to probably just roll forward and shoot it down table. Yeah. Yeah, now if you get an opponent like Stub who wants to do that, or he's got really a pretty easy safety and he takes a wild shot at the 9, I mean, then every time you get that situation where it's a little difficult, you push out, let him take a crazy shot, because you're going to win. You play off of his stupidity and win.
Yeah. I wonder if Stub will learn from that. He'll need to learn quick. I mean, we say this all the time. I mean, he's made the first slam at a ball, and he's given the rack away.
Yeah, and the question is how many racks? Because you get into good players, one mistake. I remember I was playing a match against a Mark King who just passed away recently, and I'm up 4-3. I dog the 9 ball. I get funny on it and dog it. He breaks and runs 2, then breaks, makes the ball in place safe. So instead of it being 5-3 and me breaking, it's now 6-4, and I'm coming to the table hook. All it takes is one mistake sometimes, and that's the whole match. And this looks pretty good. He's going to have to decide what to do with the 3. My guess is he's just going to stop this or back it up slightly and play the combo. Either that or play safe. He's definitely going to shoot the 2 ball. Question is, what's he going to do with the 3? He looks like he's trying to come down table here. No, he's playing for the combo. And he's perfect on it. You couldn't get much better than this. He's got to cut this 3 ball just very slightly.
Yeah, I know you can't see semi-pro because I've tabbed out.
And that's really well done. That's the kind of combo you expect people to make, but I never take it for granted on combos that they're going in, because too many times they don't.
Right, that's all the tabbing out I'm doing. Well, it's going to be 3-zip.
Yeah, well, so far that stupid play by Stubbs cost him 2 games, and could be more. Bedhead looks like he came to play. Though I'm a little surprised he just didn't roll forward on that. Maybe he didn't think he didn't like the angle.
Oh, he's still good.
Well, this is mainly just getting the angle correct off of the end rail. He's going to just come back with this. Yeah, he's not even going to mess going to the end rail.
Well, Stubbs hoping and praying he can make more use of his opportunity as and when he gets it.
And he's got a ball in, and I think he's going to come up with something.
Well, the 1 goes.
Yep. He's got a shot on the 1. The problem is the 3 is going to be tricky.
Yeah. I mean, this is...
He can roll this and take a thin cut on the 3 if he wants. If he rolls this, it should be short of the side pocket. It's just this, the speed. You hit this a little too hard, and all of a sudden the 3 gets really tough. But he likes these soft shots. I think he's probably just going to roll this. This kind of shot, if you're not careful, you can leave the 1 ball short. Yeah,
well,
he decided
he's looking for the gap.
A more aggressive play.
And he's found the gap.
And that's a really strong shot there. I mean, that wasn't easy to run it between those. Well, if you ran into the 8 ball, you were going to be done.
Now, can you dink this and still hold it for that 4? I mean, he might be going up towards the 5 ball. He might end up going up towards the 5 ball.
That's a better play because it's running on the line you want.
Yeah, well, he's gone.
That's
he's gone past far enough. Bit hampered with the 9 though.
Biggest problem is that he's going to have to take a cut on his 5 ball, I think. I mean, this is, the reason why he got like this is he hit that 3 ball a little thick. He hits it the way he wants to, and it comes down closer to the 4 ball and rolls a little further, and he's really good angle.
Stubbs says in the chat, that's bullshit. Found a way to cheat the break. Well, he actually spells it B-R-E-A-J. This is tough, because he's got to keep going, and he's got there. Well, this will be a good shot. He's in no man's land on this 5 ball. 6 balls at the opposite end of the table.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I was busy muting Stubb. Yeah, this is tricky because you got to miss the 8 ball. Why is he drawing this? Oh, he's going to go that way? Well, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, that's well played.
Oh, that's really well played. Yeah, Bedhead looks like he's come to play.
So, how many racks is that now? Well, it's going to be 4-0, but...
Well, this is the Bedhead that, when you see him play like this, you're thinking, man, he can win this tournament. And we've seen this before out of him. I don't know why he doesn't do this more often, but, I mean, when he's in this mode, he can beat anybody. So let's see. So far, that stupid shot by Stubb has cost him 3 racks and counting.
And another ball in the break. And this 1 ball's coming into play. The 8's bouncing out the way. The 2 is very handy. The 3 is very handy.
I don't think he's got a shot on this one though, unless he bananas it.
Oh no, he can't. He can't get it.
Let's see, how close to the rail is that one ball? Maybe he can play it rail first.
Yeah, that's what he's going to
Yeah.
do. He's got no other option.
I think he can play this rail first. It's even a little tight for that.
Oh, he's hit the 8. He tried to squeeze as much out of that.
Well, you tried to
He
curve
had.
it around the 8. It's tough when the 8 is that far away from the cue ball. That's a tough shot because you've got to play wide and curve it more because you know the 8's so far away from the cue ball.
Well, this is Stubbs' first test getting out, and he needs to get reasonably decent in the 4 because he doesn't want to be interfering with the 6 if he can help it.
Yeah, he'll get out here. I mean, this is, you know, again, this is both of these guys do
just a little
this kind of well.
A little dinky draw off this I'd be doing.
Bedhead's gotten out
forward
on a couple tables that were not, you know, trivial tables, and he was able to run out on them, and that's bodes bad for Stubb. Well, the mistake ended up costing Stubb 3 games.
Well,
so you think about that. If you're playing a guy, every time you make a mistake, he's getting 2 or 3 games out of it. It's going to be hard to win if you make many mistakes.
Yeah, because 13 isn't far away. Well, I'll probably just go forward and check this a little bit, maybe. He wants to bring the cue ball, keep it on that line. Well, that's fine. I think the angle he had was much better than it looked.
With Stubb, if somebody figures out how to break so they're making balls, they're cheating. Whereas if he did it, it's because he's smart and he figured it out. You got to understand the Stubb logic.
Well, he's got a ball, and I think he's going to have a blast here. This isn't set, but he can make it.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he misses this. This is pretty.
Oh, well, he hit it. He didn't set himself up, did he? I mean, that was
he hit it way too hard. Yeah, well, the thing is that ball might have gone in the pocket if it was slower.
He just didn't take his time to set himself.
Well, I think he's going to get pinned on the 8 ball here. This is what I'd be doing. I'd be rolling on top of that 8 ball. I might decide to go to the rail, run the 1 ball into the 4 ball, and hit the cue ball with some left English to hold it up off the rail into the 8. I think that's how I play it, and it looks like kind of like that's what he's going to do.
I'm just surprised Stubb didn't use his shot clock there a little bit to, you know, double check what he was doing. Yeah. And just now he's paid the price.
Yeah, well, and that's well played. And Bedhead is obviously, you know, playing one pocket, paying attention about playing safe. I mean, that was the right way to shoot that shot. Some people would try to roll straight to that 8 ball, but the way that he just played it off the rail like that with English it's more reliable. You're going to get the hook than trying to roll straight to that 8 ball because you get a little funny on the angle when you're trying to roll, and all of a sudden, you know, you miss the 8 ball.
Well, there's still work to do here. You've still got to get good on this 3 ball for a start.
It's not a trivial table just because all the balls are close together, which looks easy, but it isn't because if you get funny. But, yeah. I mean, I would expect you're going to run out because all the balls are doable. You don't have to move anything.
Well, yeah. He's the wrong side of the 3.
You can probably draw this back. He's just going to bump it.
See, this is where the problem is. He's going to have to just go up the table and play long.
He'll play the 6 in the other corner. You know, he's just going to let it roll. And this is perfect line because you don't have to do anything with the cue ball here. All you have to do is make the 4, and the cue ball is going to come on a perfect line. And just like that.
Now the problem is he going to take some of this 7 ball?
Well,
he needs to be careful of the 9 though. He needs to be careful.
This is what happens when the balls are close.
He's fine.
When the balls are close, you can just be a little bit offline, and all of a sudden it's funny. That's why these close balls situations are tricky is because, you know, he could have been an inch over and it was real simple.
Now is he going to get right into this so he can play the 8-ball into the same pocket? Nope. Oh, he's leaving the bank. I thought he was going to get right into that there and come across and leave it into the same pocket.
This is no good. He's going to have to, I think he's going to have to shoot this on the side. This bank is, I'm not saying it's not doable, but this is a tough bank because you're going to have to jack up and punch it. Yeah, see, he didn't jack up and punch it. He needed to put a little bit of inside English on that, and you know, he had to hold that ball up. Well, with speed, with a little English, with the angle, he had to do something to hold up that 8-ball.
Well, again, you know, just what you said, Steve. The way the balls were sitting, they all, in theory, had pockets, but they were all sort of not interfering with one another. But you just had to be careful how you got on one specific ball to get to that next one comfortably, and that's how he broke down. Well, really, at the end.
I'll tell you how I learned that. It's from my friend Frank the Barber, who was a great 8-ball player, and I was having him teach me to play 8-ball, and he says, well, those 2 balls over there, you know, you want to get to that quick. I'm like, why? Those are easy, you know, they're sitting right next to each other. And he said, well, because when they're close and you get a little funny, then all of a sudden it's not easy. And he's right. And that was a bunch of balls close, and you know, it's tricky moving a cue ball to stay in line when they're that close.
Well, Stubb got off the hook there. He's got a ball in the break, and well, he's just going to drop this 2-ball in. I don't think he'll do anything else other than that. So
it's already been a 2-game swing with that Bedhead not running out there, and it's looking like it could be more.
Now, will he kill it for the long 4 into the top right in the gap between the 8 and 9? Because he's getting
probably go forward like that.
Going out.
I like that play, and I like having that angle because you come back down off the end rail. Little outside English here to kick it back a little towards the 5. You don't need much, just a teeny bit.
Now, is the quality any better, guys? Because I know the last time, remember, I'm running a newer version of it that they've made to fix my macros, and there might be other issues with it because of that.
That's a shot Stubb hits well, that going forward shot like that. Yeah, Stubb plays area position real well. I mean, where you can let the cue ball run and you don't have to be super precise. But, you know, you're letting your stroke out and you're putting some spin on it. I mean, that's the part of his game that's really strong.
So he's back to within 1. He's got a couple of balls. I think it was a 6 and 8 that went, was it?
Yeah, and this is how big mistakes are. Bedhead makes 1 mistake and it's already cost him 3 games, and it's looking like it could be more.
Definitely going to be all square now. He's got no problem here.
Yeah, you don't. It would be a fail not to get out on this rack. You know, he's trying to decide where to put this for the 4, and this is a little touchy. This I would back it up and shoot the 4 on the side because he's got a little angle where the cue ball is going to move a little left. Okay, he's going to shoot it in the corner, and that's fine. You almost have to stun this. He may just roll it forward, but no, it looks like he's going to stun it. Yeah. Oh, he's going backwards. I wouldn't have done that, but it's fine.
Well, Stubb looking for his chance to get in the lead after this. From 4-0 down.
Don't mention fail. Oh, you afraid the monkey's going to come out?
So, 4 apiece.
Yeah, and there you can see how costly mistakes are. I mean, Stubb made one and it cost him 3 games, and Bedhead made one and now it's cost him, was 3 or 4 games? I think it's been 4 games.
Well, at this stage in the tournament, this is what we expect anyway. You know, that mistakes are going to be costly either way. Now 8-ball goes in, and he's on the 1.
I can tell you already, Semi, hitting it on the outside isn't a great way to hit it. Center ball's fine. A lot of it depends on the cue. When I was playing with a wooden cue, that shot was really easy for me from the inside. And with I'm playing with a Revo now, a carbon fiber shaft, and I'm better with that shot from the center of the cue ball.
Well, this rack is all going to be decided on the 6-ball and the 9 because they're going nowhere.
Yeah, I think the girls have tighter pockets. You can try them and see, but I think I redid them.
Now, looking at where the 5-ball is, there's a chance in the 5-ball to get a bump on that 6 and 9.
Not sure he needs a bump. I mean, I think he'd just shoot the combo. Well, what's even? You could play the combo. You could play the billiard.
What combo are you talking about, Steve?
The 6-9 combo.
That's nowhere near set.
Oh, but it's not hard. I mean, if you get the cue ball down on the rail, where it's easy to get the angle back, I mean, it's not a hard shot. Or you could play the billiard.
Well,
you know,
put it this way: it's no more harder than the combo that Stubb had first rack of the match, was it?
Oh no, that was way harder. I mean, it was then got on the 1 and the balls were 6 feet apart.
Well, if he took his time.
I mean, I'm saying this because, you know, in general, I don't shoot combos that well. And a lot of the combos I see people shoot in VP, I wouldn't shoot in real life. This one, I would shoot this in real life every time. So if me, who's bad at combos in real life, would shoot this, then it can't be hard in VP.
Well, he went for the little nudge.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's a mistake because when you roll at a ball like that and that's the next ball you have to shoot, it's real easy not to come up with a shot. I mean, he got away with it, but if you're going to break balls out, you really don't want to be doing it with the ball right before the one that you're breaking out.
Well, he's going to take the lead.
Well, that's what I was saying, Semi. The 6-9 combo is, you know, what I would be doing, because, and like I said, I don't like combos, and I would have shot it. Well, okay, so that finally comes to an end. So that mistake cost them 5 racks. And this is a pretty well played match because there haven't been a lot of mistakes and there's been a lot of running out. So Bedhead's shaking his cue, but you know, I mean, you got to be happy that Stubb didn't make a ball and running out again. You got to be happy you're at the table. You've got a chance to take control of it.
Well, it looks as, I mean, it's hard to say. He's lining up this combo.
He may be shooting the bank. Shoot the bank at pocket speed and bring the cue ball back towards the 6, so that if you don't make it, you've got him snookered. I think that's what he's going to do here.
It looks like the line he's taken. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the key here is getting the speed right on the 1 ball, and if you play 1 pocket, then you're used to hitting balls at the right speed. And he didn't get the speed right. He hit it too hard.
Stubb will have a blast at this. Or he's going to duck behind that 5. If he
This is
if he'd enough, yeah,
this is the easiest safety there ever was. So
yeah.
if
If
you're
he'd
not going
enough
to play
sense,
safe
he's
here,
going to
you're
duck.
never going to.
And
I mean, that was.
he's got that tight enough. I mean, there is. I'm trying to find a line off that short rail, but there is a line.
I think Bedhead shot the right shot. He didn't execute it well. And just to be clear, you guys probably know I like when people do the right things, and it's big kudos. But it doesn't do you to do any good to do the right thing and then fail in the execution. All you get is a kudos and a loss, which is probably what's going to happen here. Now this rack isn't guaranteed. Well, that's an excellent hit. Is he going to get lucky? Oh, not quite. So this rack is not guaranteed where that 7 is.
Well, you know that sooner or later Stubbs are going to have a
Yeah, and the problem with doing what he just did is now you have to get lucky to come out with a shot, which he did.
yeah.
But think about it this way, guys. The player that, planned that and was more patient and waited till he get in a position on the ball to do a controlled breakout, who guarantees that he's going to come up with a shot, versus Stubb whamming him and hoping. And you're playing in a shot where one mistake costs the guy 5 racks and another mistake costs the guy 3 racks, and you're going to take a blast and hope you come up with a shot. It's just not a good strategy.
Yeah, but he thinks it is because he's got away with it this time. But
yeah, well, I mean, but it isn't, and that's how you end up losing these matches, is doing stupid things like that.
Well, it's going to be a 2-rack lead, provided he can get decent in the 9. There's no reason he won't. And this from 4-0 down. It's 6 in a row.
Yeah, well, Bedhead, it was poor execution on the shot Bedhead played, and it's costing him. And this is what you want to see in a match. You want to see guys get punished for making mistakes. Now, what's he doing here? Well, he's trying to get above it so he doesn't have to go past the side pocket, which is probably a smart play.
This is
the angle you want. Well, I would be hitting this a little right English and not hard. That's crazy what he just did. Look at this. Now he's going to say the table's rigged, and it's like, well, there we go with the stupid blast he's paying for, and that was ridiculous.
Yep. That was crazy. All he needed to do was thin cut at a nice, gentle enough pace, and it's going to go in.
Well, the key there is what you do is you hit it gently with right English, because the right English is going to take the throw out, and the cue ball and the object ball is going to go right down the rail. That's all you got to do with that shot. And you don't have to worry about scratching in the side pocket when you're putting right English on it, because you're not going to hit it hard enough to get the cue ball to the side pocket. It's going to kill some off the rail and just come back out into the table.
So, he was staring 6-4 there, and now we're all square.
Okay, so here's a situation, a safety situation. And let's see what Bedhead decides to do here.
I'm heading down towards the 2-ball.
Yeah.
Going to get there, though.
Yeah, I didn't like that shot. I think Bedhead shot it because he figured even if I don't get a hook, there's a 3 in front of it. But I think he had better plays than that. I would have looked at taking the 1 ball up table and bringing the cue ball around behind the 4, 6, and 9 before I shot what he did. It wasn't going to be that easy to get him on that 2 ball where it was sitting. It was too close to the rail, and
well, now he's in trouble. He's brushed the 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is where you play safe. I don't know if he will, but he's got a pretty good safety play, just stopping the cue cue ball and letting it go 3 rails.
Yeah, this doesn't bank. It doesn't bank at that angle.
No, I wouldn't shoot this bank shot. I'd be playing safe here. I'd be hitting it with draw and left English, try to open up the 2 as much as I can. That's not a terrible play, but that's a tough safety. It looks like he hit it good enough that he got away with it.
Well, Bedhead, I think, has just got something similar to go at here.
I wouldn't do that. I would be kicking off the end rail, maybe straight into this one. I like usually going 2 rails, but with that 4 sitting, I don't like this shot. But he hit it great.
Well, Stubb.
Now, it looks like we're going to be shooting this shot for a while until somebody makes a big enough mistake.
He's got to get this thin. Really thin.
I mean, that's the problem with these shots is you don't hit them thin and it's ugly.
See, the thing is that 9 ball comes into play if that 2 ball comes anywhere out and Bedhead can get a sniff of it because he can play it in off the 9 or even go for a combo.
Well, and there we go. So now you got to decide whether you're shooting or playing safe. He may shoot this. The only thing I don't like about shooting it is you're not guaranteed to come up with a shot on the 4 here. I'd be more inclined to try to play safe here to stick him on the 4 ball because that's pretty easy to do.
That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing, and that was excellent.
Well
That's
done.
exactly what you want to do there. And that's a smart play because a lot of people would have shot at that. That's a really smart play.
Well, he's got the kick, and Bedhead gets his reward.
There's some more BS. By the way, you know what BS stands for? Look at your title bar. Bedhead, Sweden. That's BS.
Oh yeah. I'm sure Stubb doesn't refer it to that though. So the rewards for the good safety are there to behold. He's going to regain the lead.
Well, here's what's happening in this. Stubb has played great. The only reason it's 5-5 is because he's already done 3 really stupid things. I mean, he would be way ahead if he wasn't doing stupid things because he's played wonderfully.
Uh-oh.
And not that Bedhead has played bad. He's played good too, but, things have sort of gone Stubb's way. And Stubbs played really well, and Bedhead's made a couple mistakes, and Stubb has really made them pay.
So we're halfway home, or at least we will be in a minute. I'll just kill it stone dead.
I'll tell you what, if somebody played like Stubb in real life, they would get a lot of action because what I have found is that if you're the kind of player that doesn't make very many mistakes and runs out and plays smart, it's hard to get action because you control the table and people don't like playing you. If you're the kind of player that always gives guys chances because you do stupid things, then you get a lot of action because, even if you're winning, people feel like they've got a chance because they're getting to the table a lot. Well, and Stubb's kind of in that vein.
It's dry. Stubb looks as if he's going for a blast.
Yeah, and this should definitely be some kind of push out. I mean, this is just a terrible move. He's just trying to get lucky.
And Bedhead, well, he might want to. It wouldn't do him any harm to try and bump the 5. I don't know whether he can. Let's have a look at the angle from his end.
Yeah, I mean, it's
dangerous. It's risky.
That's doable.
It's risky. He could miss it and end up bumping the 4 and have no shot.
No, it's pretty natural. I mean, you may have to hold it with just a teeny bit of right English just to make sure you get the line at the 5. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to bump the 2, which isn't so fatal. He's just going to play down table, which
he's leaving it long.
Well, that ball goes. I thought he was getting position to safe. Well, this is nice because you can just slide this over between the 6 and 3. You don't want to put it right on top of the 3. You want to favor the 6 side of that gap.
Yeah, a little gap. Oh well, I'm just going to have to manufacture a combo from this.
Yeah. I mean, this is doable. I mean, he got real good on it. And the good thing about this is you're going to have a shot on the 3. You hit this ball with a lot of right English, so the cue ball holds up, and the 3 ball is going to start sliding towards the other corner. You just don't want to let the cue ball run through. Yep, there you go. That's perfect.
And he's got the angle to come into the gap, or he could come back the way, but the gap's here between the 1 and 5.
But, you know, I mean, his choice to take the combo is fine. I mean, the thing about the way he's playing this is everything's under control. You know, he's not doing anything crazy like Stubb.
Needs to keep going.
Under-hit that a little bit.
Needs to keep going. Yeah, he's left it short.
Yeah, and that's the kind of shot that, you know, you don't want to under-hit that. You could overhit a little, but you really didn't want to under-hit it. So now he's going to have to go back and forth. He's going to go back side to side and come back for the 5. So it's a little 2-rail with a cue ball. And again, this is pretty easy because all he has to do is make the ball. I mean, it's automatic. It's coming back. So you just focused on the speed of that shot because you know the cue ball is going to go on the right path without doing anything.
Well, he's sitting good now.
Yep.
Shouldn't be any issues. Although you don't want to be there.
Yeah, that's not a wonderful place to leave it.
You don't want it to be sitting in the rail.
He's got to be a little careful here because the 9 balls, you know, and he was real careful. He wasn't taking any chances. So,
got a choice: 9 ball in the same pocket, or just drop below it, or what? I mean, anything he wants to do.
Oh, I would always shoot the 9 ball in the same pocket. It's just natural to
let
get
it run
the
out.
9 ball that way.
Yeah,
you go to the side rail with a cue ball.
Yeah. Oh, he's left it way short again. He's in that area.
See, it's on. He's got on a perfect line. All he had to do was, you know, hit a little harder. But that is the hardest part in pool, is getting the speed down. If you watch good players, they hit the ball on line almost all the time. It's the speed that is the hardest thing to get.
Well,
if you're really good. And I say if you're really good because if you watch guys play, that's a key sign. If a guy is always rolling the cue ball on the right line, then watch out for that guy because, you know, that's one of the ways when I look at guys and decide who I want to gamble with. If some guy's always rolling the cue ball on the right line all the time, that's a guy I'm not going to be picking on.
Well, he wants to hit a big chunk of this 5 if he's going to hold for the 3, cutting this 1 in.
Yeah, this is a little tricky. I would try to go behind it. He's going to play safe. And you know what? Against Stubb, the way he's going, that's a good shot, other than the fact that he didn't get it up on the 5 ball, and Stubb's going to be able to jump this pretty easily.
Yeah, his last choice is usually jump. He still prefers to kick.
Yeah, well, I mean...
that's going to roll behind the 5. He's going to get lucky here. Look at this.
Well, you got to get some lucky rolls. It's not like you can always be bad.
Bedhead might fancy it, though.
I would kick at this. I would kick it to the left of that 6 ball with a ton of spin and try to hit the 1 ball up table because the cue ball is then going towards the 4-3-9, and there's a good chance you're going to get safe. But you gotta put a lot of spin on it to get the ball to open up and hit the 1. I think he's looking like he might jump this, yeah. Which is, in VP, this is probably a good move.
Well, now he's got to think twice.
Well, this is, you know, I mean, you can play safe here. He's got a safety.
He's going for it.
I would probably shoot this in real life, but It just depends how I felt, because this is not an automatic shot, but you can kill the cue ball here. He's not putting. He's up on the cue ball high, which I think is a mistake on that shot.
And he's missed the 3, but he's got the second prize.
Yeah, well, that 3 is. You can make that 3 off the rail.
It's tight.
You gotta spin it a lot. You gotta hit it like a slow speed spinner.
It's really tight to get.
Well, you've got a reasonable kick shot. You try to kick the 3 up the rail and make it in the quarter. If it doesn't go, if you hit it good, there's a good chance you'll get them on the 5.
I prefer this idea than trying to spin into that 3. And he's got it.
Except he blasted it.
And it's going to come off the short rail. No, he's going to be nailed to it. So, got to run forward, let it come back into the table, and he should be out.
Yeah, this is a little tricky. If you hit this too hard, you're going to get the 6 ball.
Welcome to Rob.
It's taking a long time to aim that. And that was the problem there. I mean, but he got the cue ball out. So it's going to be 7-6, it looks like. Well, Hugh, you got to be happy with the level of play here on a lot of these matches we're seeing. I mean, this is another, really well played match. We saw Cobra play really well one match, and we've seen Nick play really well.
Yeah, but it's what I expect. The guys all know what they're doing, and when there's a table there for the taking, it has to be expected that they're going to get out. If they're going to be a contender, they have to be doing it.
I'll say this about Stubbs' game, that, let the cue ball run, kind of play area position, is very effective for 9-ball. The reason why he isn't winning is not because of that. It's because of the dumb plays he makes, like blasting at balls. That's what's costing him. His style of play and how he runs out tables, I've seen a lot of great players that played like that. Well, let's see what Bedhead decides to do here. I mean, I'd be thinking about pushing here.
Yeah, because you're going to, if you're taking the left side of the 1, which is all you can see, you're going to catch the 2.
Well, he's going to try to spin into it, which if he does this, it could come out really good. The problem with it is with the 6 ball there, the cue ball may end up just staying right there.
Yeah, he needs to catch a thin edge of this. He's missed it.
Well, he got none of it. Now the question is, do you want to play for 3 foul? Because you can just roll this 1 ball over to the side rail and pin the cue ball between the 2 and the end rail, and good luck with that kick. Where that 4 ball is, if it was me, I would probably roll him up on that 2 ball and, maybe play for the 3 foul.
I think for a second there, I thought he was looking at bumping the 1 ball up the table and trying to stay behind the 6 and 7 there, but he's trying to, now he's undecided.
Yeah, he's not going to play for 3 foul, he's Stubb. But, one thing you got to consider if you were a Bedhead with that shot on the 1 where, there's a chance that if you didn't spin it enough, you were going to miss the whole ball, is what's going to happen. What's your opponent going to do if you give him ball in hand? And you had to figure that anybody that was a good player was going to pin you on that 2 ball and try to 3 foul you.
Yeah, Chimpy's right there, Steve. Bedhead couldn't push out because that was Stubb just played a safety in that situation there.
My bad. I thought it was right after the break.
So
Yeah, that was kind of a rotten situation then.
the upward one is getting to the 4 off the 3. The 4
Yeah, and
is tight into
that's
the
very
side.
awkward.
Does he want to try and get good on it in the short side of it? That'll be tricky.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why that's not a terrible thing to do, because you have two pockets. You have the corner and the side pocket it both goes in. See, I wouldn't have done that. I would have played to get on the 3 and then get on the short side, because
to
anytime
me,
you've got two pockets, you've got two chances to get a speed that gives you a shot.
Why did he try? I mean, I could see what he was trying. He was trying to get a bump in the 8 there and still hold for the 3, but
it's just. It's his mindset is always try to go break things up, but the problem is that none of it's ever under control.
Well, why didn't you think? Well, if I can get half decent on this 3 ball, I might just be able to stun up the short side of the 4. I doubt very much whether Cobra would have played that shot.
Cobra would have
never. He'd have been trying to get down in the short side, or get the angle in the 3 to get a bump. If that was the case.
Well, the short summary is that. When you get to the table, you have to look at what play gives me the best chance of winning the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, it was going to be hard to get on the 4 ball, but that gave him the best chance of winning the game, not the craziness he tried. And you got to remember, if you roll up on that 4 ball and get a little funny on it, or you don't have a shot that you like, you can always play safe. You've got that 8 ball right there that you can just pin him on.
Nail the cue ball on it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's what Stubb did was the absolute worst choice you could have made.
Well, talking about nailing the cue ball onto the 8.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's what he's going to do here. This shot's a little tricky because you got to stun this. He looks like he's shooting this, which isn't a terrible choice. I mean,
into that side pocket, shoot it. That is way tight. And now I have not a clue what that is.
I think he was thinking somehow he's going to get this on the 8, but you were going to have to stun that to get on the 8.
Yeah.
You could do like a little soft draw to keep the speed down on the 4 ball, but you were not going to roll that and get it on the 8.
That's strange.
And I think that's I put that kind of in the category there of going goofy on that shot, because Bedhead's a good enough player that he ought to know.
Yeah, well, I think
that's not going to work.
I think it was a bit frightened of trying to execute the stroke.
Well, that's fine, but your fallback for being frightened isn't shooting a shot that is never going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what happens to players. I mean, believe me, I have done that lots and lots of times, where I get a situation and I'm nervous and I look at the ball and the shot doesn't feel comfortable, and then I do something stupid like that. I've done that a lot of times.
Well, we are back all square because of it.
Yeah, you've got to resist those kind of tendencies and, man up and shoot the shot that's required, not, try to wishy-wash some shot. And you shoot a wishy shot and usually the wish doesn't come true.
7 apiece, and the 6 ball eventually goes in, the 8 ball goes in, the 5 ball goes in. He's got,
and he's out.
The 1's gone as well. The 1, the 5, the 6, and the 8 have all gone, and he's out.
And if you're a guy like Bedhead, you've got to be a little frustrated at this point that you've played really good, and you just made a few mistakes that seem pretty innocent, but I mean, anybody watching is probably going, "Oh yeah, I've done that. I can do that. I can make that mistake." But that's really why he's not ahead in this match.
Well,
is those kind of things.
In a challenge room with a bunch of players, it only costs you 1 rack, but in this situation, it could cost you any amount of racks, and Stubb's going to get the lead.
The best thing to do is play like you're playing in one of these World Championship matches all the time. And that means that, if you're playing a World Championship match against someone that's got no chance against you, you still play the same way like you're playing one of the top players. You play safe the same way, try to play smart, because all you're doing is breeding bad habits when you don't play the right way.
Exactly. And I don't think anything went in there. Yeah, it's
I don't
dry.
think so either. This is a pretty tough jump shot. I don't know what he's going to do here. And if you're going to push,
Well,
you've got to push to a jump shot or a kick here.
Yeah, because that one ball's getting nudged onto either.
Yeah.
Well, more than likely the 7 rather than the 4.
He's going to just go ahead and shoot it, which isn't a bad idea as long as you're confident you're getting over the 3 ball. Because with the 7 ball hanging there, it's pretty easy to pocket the 7.
Oh, he's missed it.
Oh, and he didn't get it.
He's missed it.
He hit it pretty good. I think the 7 was so deep in the pocket that it actually wasn't as easy as I thought. That thing's way back in it.
Well, what does Stubb do here? Because this ain't going past the 2.
And that's one of those situations where Bedhead comes to the table, and it's just,
That's a good shot.
It was just tough.
That was
So
tight
he had
into the side.
There was not a whole lot of good choices where Bedhead was. I mean, what he could have done is push someplace to a kick shot.
Yeah, the mentality a lot of these guys that are left in the tournament though is if there's a possibility of getting that ball, they'll go for it rather than try to play the safe. Because when you look at the alternative he had there, Steve, yes, he could have tried to push out, but he's thinking that with the ball over the pocket, Stubb would have had some sort of blast to nudge something in.
Sure, I'm not saying that was the wrong decision. I mean, his choice was, shooting out or pushing to something like a kick shot, which, I mean, any kick shot he's pushing to with the 1 ball in the middle of the table was, it was going to be a hard kick shot.
Where he may well have been put back in if Stubb didn't fancy it,
Yeah, I mean, that was just a tough situation. And
hold on a minute.
Oh, and that's no good.
Well, this is just a tad off the rail.
The best thing about this is that it's close. And he blasted, and he's going to get away with it.
Well, now we're getting to the interesting part of the match. Stubb's going to be 2 in front.
Yeah,
Bedhead's got to bring it to the table now.
So Bedhead lost to Larry, right? Wasn't that Larry that beat Bedhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that match, Larry played really well that match. Well,
oh dear.
There's a fur ball coming up there, right there.
There you go.
That's a big fur ball.
Now that could be significant.
Well, yeah. I mean, who knows how many games that's going to cost them? It's already a 2-game swing right here, and it's.
That could be very painful for Stubb. Next time Stubb gets the table, he could be looking at Bedhead in double figures here.
That was a huge mistake to miss that. I mean, it wasn't a gimme, but I mean, when the way Stubb plays, where he's like blasts that 6 ball and turns the cue ball loose, you're not going to get perfect on that 8 ball a lot of times. You're rolling it. Look at this though. I think he's dry, but this is this is a little tricky here. So what I would do here is I would hit the right side of that 1 with left English. Let the 1 ball bounce out and take the cue ball behind it between the rail and the 6 ball and use the 5 and 6 as blockers. It's a tricky shot because you got to control the speed of the 1 ball.
Right, so into the gap.
He's going to push. Now let's see what Bedhead does here. If this is me, I'm shooting this. I'm playing the shot that I just talked about. There's another safety where you can bank the 1, 2 rails to the end rail and take the cue ball 3 rails back down to where the 9 ball is.
Yeah, I like that idea better. I like that idea better.
Yeah, most guys don't want to shoot those shots, those kind of complex shots. Bedhead's going to go for the simple one I was talking about. And, he's not even doing that. He's trying to put him on the 2. That's a tough shot. Yeah, that's a tough shot there. If the 2-ball was closer to the rail, it wouldn't have been bad shot to shoot at. But where it was, that was tricky.
Well, this 1 ball is very tight between the 5 and 6.
Well, I think he's going to shoot in the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going
comfortably
other
into
way.
the corner.
And that was well done. I mean, it wasn't, you know, a lot of guys might have trouble getting a line on the cue ball. That was perfect there. So Bedhead only gets the 2-game swing on the miss by Stubb.
Well, I'll tell you, the big problem here is making sure that he gets on the 4 to play the 8 in out the way, because he wants to be able to play the 4 to get good in the 5. And he's coming in the short side of the 4 to try and take it on its own. Well, he's immediately in trouble here. He's got to pull off a shot.
Yeah, this is... You got to decide where you want to play this 5-ball. You could play it in the corner up by the 9-ball. You could play it in the same corner as the 4. You could play for the combo. I mean, he's going to run the cue ball here, I think. You could try to run it at the 5-ball. You could try to run into the 7-ball. He chose to run into the 5-ball, and that's a good shot.
Yeah, he's okay.
I think that's a little risky just because I'm not sure that he knew exactly how he was going to hit the 5, but it you know, maybe he did. That's the thing, is those kind of shots, if you know where that 5-ball is going and you know how you're going to hit it, then, you know, there's really not a whole lot of luck involved there. If you're not quite sure, then, you know, then there's some luck involved.
Oh, this needs to run. It needs to go.
Yeah, he could have pulled that back, but there's nothing wrong with doing that, and he's fine there. And I would always play this to come back with the cue ball to where the 7 is, because it's a natural just to go 3-4 rails. See, I would never leave the cue ball here. All he has to do is come back across the other side of the table and then take the cue ball 3 or 4 rails for the 9. This is not where you want to go. I mean, he's able to do it, but it's just you're asking to get yourself funny when you play for that spot, whereas the other spot you could be anywhere within 2 feet of that long rail and you've got an easy shot.
Mm-hmm. So 9-8. Stubb needs 4. Bedhead needs 5. And Stubb wants a good break. And I don't think he's got it. Wait a minute, the 4 ball's going in. The 8 ball's trying to follow it.
And this table's
he's on
pretty
the
good.
1 and he's out.
Yeah, so this, you just, well, see again, I would have just stopped it and then taken the cue ball 3 rails off that too.
Yeah, to go on the 3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about doing the kind of shots I'm talking about.
Hang on.
Yeah, and see, that's what happens
There you go.
When he doesn't just stop the cue ball. The thing about what I'm talking about there is that you want to play natural position where, you know, it's more guaranteed. And he's not doing that. And as soon as you start, you know, doing stuff with cue ball, you're forcing it around, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah. Welcome to Matt.
You know, the best players always, you know, try to take more natural pass. They let the cue ball go where it wants to.
Well, Stubb,
they don't spin it unless they have to.
Stubb, you know, he did fall into the trap there. What you said was correct. You know, get yourself on the right line, make it easier to get in the 3, and then of course he ends up having to have a blast because he's hooked and he scratches, and we're 9-all. Well, I say 9-all. I mean, Bedhead's probably going to have to use the rail for this 8 ball to get up for the 9, unless he gets straight on it or plays a draw.
I like taking the cue ball over to the side rail here, and you just hit a spinner. You just make sure you stay nice and high on that 9. You go 3 rails.
Just roll it in and get to the rail.
And guys, if that shot like bothers you, you're unsure of it and stuff, you need to go practice it because it comes up all the time. So he's going to come up here to a shot he thinks is more comfortable. And guess what? I think this shot's less reliable than the other one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he won't hit it well, but it's like he's just making it harder.
Well, he's going to get to the bedhead angle. Not quite.
Yeah, he's fine here.
So, whose nerve is going to hold now? Because we are getting to the squeaky bum time, guys.
Yeah, well, whichever guy loses this match is going to feel like one got away because they both played well. And, you know, they've both made some mistakes that have hurt them. But the level of play has been pretty high in this match.
Oh, the 2 ball's going to go. And the cue ball's going to go.
That hurts. Now that really hurts because we'll see what Stubb decides to do here. Well, he's probably going to play the 1-9 combo.
Yeah, I don't have anything against that simply because it looks pretty simple enough and the 3 balls locked up.
But if I'm playing the shot, you know, unless I'm sure I'm making it, I'm trying to put the cue ball on the 6. Now, the problem with doing that is it reduces your chance of making the shots. But if you're going to shoot at this, you have to make it. Now, if he blasts this and makes the pocket small, you know, I mean, this shot you need to hit at, you know, not super easy because you don't want to hang it, but you don't want to blast the shot.
You've got to give it a chance to go in.
Yeah, that's a good speed.
Oh, dear. Well,
that's one of the reasons why you want to play safe with the cue ball. Because you don't want to leave this gimme shot. Now, he got a little bit unlucky there in that he hit it good enough to hang it in the pocket, but not good enough to go in.
If he's going to play the billiard here, he needs to be careful. Yeah, he's just careful.
Well, he got enough of the 1 ball where the speed wasn't there on the cue.
Well, there's a big turning point, maybe. At the wrong time for Stubb. And did anything go there?
Of course you can replay the last shot repetition. It's the U key. It's undo. You can undo and replay shots as many times as you want.
Yeah, the break it gave Bedhead the 2 ball, and we've got the 6 and 7 tied up. Now he wants to get a bump here. He wants to stun this firm, does he not, to try and get a break and still be in a 3 here. He's got to take the risk. He's got to give this a bang.
He needs to move there.
That's the unlucky thing about it. It was way too straight.
He could not move into it that way where he's going directly into the 6 because he wasn't going to get a lot of speed on that, and he hit a little thick on I think too. Yeah, he had to just like hit a glancing blow on that 6 ball because there was no way he was going to drive through it. He could have tried to go forward, but the problem with that is it potentially brought a scratch in. So another thing, repetition and offline, is you can turn tracking on. And with tracking on, you can try different tip positions and see where the ball's going in different ways. I mean, for playing safe, you can say, I'm going to hit this with more inside or less inside or try to hold the cue ball or let it run. You can sit there with the tracking on and basically interactively figure out the best way to shoot a shot. Then you can play it yourself. You can undo it. I mean, if you want to play virtual pool, you really need to have offline to practice with.
Well, he's got to be careful here with the cue ball running away from the 6.
Yeah, he's
got to be careful.
He's fine. He's fine here. I mean,
he's fine.
So the 7 doesn't go by the 8, so he's going to have to play.
Loads of room to go on the other side.
He's going forward, which isn't a bad move there because if you try to stun that across and you get a little loose with the cue ball, you can be in the side pocket pretty quick.
So we're going to be all square in a minute.
Straight pull is great for getting better because it teaches you pattern play. Oh dear, he's had a blast again. Well, look at
where the cue ball is, though, Steve. I mean, there was no control on the shot at all. Look at where the cue ball is in that 8 ball.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's similar to the 8 ball he missed where he overcut it.
That is really bad.
So This shot, guys, I would be trying to kick this 7 ball at about 2 diamonds up past the side pocket and let it release to the end rail. And then the cue ball is coming back in the line towards the other end rail. You don't want to try to kick this ball in. You want to get above the side pocket.
That's a great shot. That's a great shot. If he doesn't scratch, oh, disaster. That was a great effort, though.
He hit the right shot, and that was a little unlucky.
And Stubbs been let off the hook again.
Yeah, well, I mean that was a good shot. I mean,
it's
a little
definitely
more
laggy.
speed, and that probably gets to the end rail and doesn't go in. I mean, when you're kicking at balls like that, unless you're effing, you're kind of trying to hit on the line, and it's kind of an approximation, and that kind of stuff can happen because most of us aren't effing. Matter of fact, none of us are effing.
10 apiece. Race to 3.
Efren would have hit that shot perfect. I mean, watching him kick, it's amazing. I've played him a couple times, and in one match he hit a shot on me. I can't even believe he shot it. It was so hard.
What you mean, Steve, is you got an education.
Yeah, he's just an amazing player. But things like kick shots like that, he's going to hit that good like every time. I mean, that's like a routine shot for him.
That's exactly what I was going to say there, Steve. That shot you're talking about, the one that Bedhead had, that shot isn't a problem for Efren Reyes. I mean, he would nail that every time.
Well, Bedhead hit a really good shot there. I mean, the idea was right, the execution was good. It just, it didn't work out. I mean, because unless you're Efren, there's some variability in that. I mean, he hit a good shot.
Yeah, he was unlucky with the scratch. The end result was actually pretty good where that ball finished. It was the right idea.
Well, you guys say unlucky way too much, but that time I'm agreeing with you. That was unlucky.
Well, he's got himself a bit straight in this, I think.
Yeah,
Can he squeeze anything in it? No.
This is a time when you need to decide where you're going to put the cue ball for the 4.
Yeah, he's just bailing out.
Well, that's a great decision. I mean, that's what you wanted to do because this is guaranteed position on the 5. All you got to do is roll this. Yeah, anytime you have a shot like this where you don't have to do anything with the cue ball and you just have to make the ball, it's pretty easy. Because when you have to do stuff with the cue ball, that's what makes the shot harder. Because now all of a sudden, not only do you have to get the cue ball in the right spot, but now the shot becomes more difficult because you're manipulating the cue ball.
Now, does he want to just stun this and come out past the 7 and leave the 6?
I'd probably draw this back, but he may try to stun it. The only thing about stunning this is you got to make sure you hit it hard enough.
Well, he's gone the other side, and now it's testy.
Yeah, I don't like this.
This is not good.
I would have tried to pull it back and shoot the 6 in the side pocket because then it's easy to get above the 7. And if you come up short, you can still run the cue ball up and down the table. Now this is pretty dead here. I mean, he's
in 2 minds here whether to try and cut it back into the side or take it into the corner.
He's in no man's land here. I mean, there's no easy safeties here. This is like terrible.
Well, he's stuck to the rail, so he can't really do much with the cue ball. Now, does the 7 go past the 9? No, it doesn't. So
no, he'd have to play the combo. He's going to jack up and stat. This is a good play. It's a great shot.
Well, that's unlucky that he's awkward now, but he's got a cut.
He had a good shot there. I mean, that's hard to control the cue ball when you're stabbing it like that, jacked up. I mean, you're basically just sparing it. I mean,
all he's really hoping was to see the 7, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played the wrong shot from the 5 to the 6, but this could be a great recovery.
Oh, he's gone to the rail too soon. Well, Stubbs going to have to pull off a shot.
And they're giving each other games here. Stubb last game missing a 7, and this game it's Bedhead. Well, this is a shot that Stubbs had some trouble with where he's been overcutting these. Although the line he's on here looks pretty good, but these are the ones he's overcut. This kind of shot where he's drawing the cue ball. You got to aim real thick on these when you're drawing it with outside English because the ball throws a lot.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God. Well, he made sure he made the ball in.
Dear.
He made sure. He was so focused on making that ball, he forgot about the cue ball.
Well,
that's crazy.
That's got to hurt. That's got to hurt big time.
What? You mean the one that Bedhead jacked up and stabbed? No, that shot is not that easy because it's hard to control the cue ball. I mean, in real life, it's really hard because it's hard to make the ball too. And in VP, it's not terrible making the ball, but
oh dear.
Well,
now Bedhead's got a dilemma here. Do you duck
no,
or do you go for the combo?
No, both. This is a free shot.
So you go for the lockout.
Yeah, you shoot the combo and put him behind the 4.
Yeah.
He's going to stun it, which is the right way to shoot this because it's easier to control the cue ball. Oh, this is a free shot here.
This to get to the hill. And
yeah. I'll tell you the decision that you've got there shooting at that. You have to decide whether you're going straight to the 9 or off the rail. If you watch a pro hit that shot, they would probably play it the 1 ball off the rail in that situation. The bad thing about playing the 1 ball off the rail there, it makes it easier to make the 9 ball, but the 1 ball will want to go left, so you would have had to roll up on the 4 more.
Well, this is a desperate shot for Stubb because he's dead straight in this 1 ball. Yes, he's going to jump the 4, but he can't really do an awful lot with the cue ball. And he might not have anything on this 2 ball.
Well, this kind of shot, you've got to pull the tip down a little and get some draw spin on it. Or do that.
Well, he'll take that.
That's like like perfect.
That is a good result. He's got to. These are easy. He's got to watch he reads it right.
Yeah, he's going to throw this one. Almost threw it too much.
Well,
and this is just back up this one.
Well, Bedhead might have played his last shot. Stubb should, and I say should because we don't know what's going to happen yet. He should be all square, and the match in his hands if he wants it.
He needed to let that Bedhead needed to let that cue ball run forward a little, kind of little stun run when he shot the 9, and get him on the 4 ball. If you're playing in a world championship without jump cues, that's okay. But with the jump cue, it's just too easy to jump in this game.
Well, I think Stubb did well to get that bump in the 9 and land in the 2. So, we're all square. Stubb breaking. And a ball. And he's got a shot. And they're all there. He should be in the hill. Should be on the hill. Yeah, Jimmy White did beat Crump, and then he promptly lost his next match, so he's out. He's out. I heard that earlier today that he beat Crump, but they said, and then later on that day he got beat. I don't know who beat him. Maybe it was one of the Chinese boys that beat him. Now, what does he do? Does he just roll through for the 5-6 combo? That unless he's. I think he's going up table, yeah, he's going up table, so he's going to be 5-6 combo. Now, he doesn't want that 5 to stick to the rail. Yeah, because that, yeah, he's fine. Well, he's got plenty of room as well. Well, Bedhead now has his fingers crossed that he's going to get something in this next rack.
Yeah, Bedhead better cross his fingers at this point.
There's Stubb break. If Stubbs break works one more time, it's all over.
But it's, it's such little things when you get a match where it's played at this level. The fact Bedhead didn't let the cue ball go forward a little to get on that 4 ball when he shot the combo, that could cost him this whole match. That one little thing, which is really a pretty minor mistake. It's not like a big deal, but it could cost him the whole match.
Oh, that wasn't great. It's dry, and Bedhead has a cut on the 1.
Well,
oh no, he doesn't. That's a 9 ball. Take it back. I'm looking at the 9 up the table, thinking it's a 1.
This is not a guaranteed safety, but you just
you
bank
send
the
it,
1 off the side rail
send
towards
it to
the
the
8,
8,
and you try to bring the cue ball straight down and get him on the 9.
Yeah.
You could try to bring it back and get him on the 3 ball. That's another option. If you're confident you can get the line coming over, the 3 ball is probably a better choice, and that's what he's going for. Oh boy, that was almost a great shot. The sad thing about that is he misses the 3 ball. Even if he goes the other side, he's got the 5 and 6 that can hook it, and he just,
Hang on a minute here. Is Stubb lining up for the thin
who
cut?
knows what Stubb's doing?
Yeah,
that's just. Oh, and he's going to get
look at
lucky.
this! Look at this! Look at
That's
this!
just a shame. That's just a shame.
Unbelievable.
Capital BS about 100 times on that.
Yeah. And,
well, but this kind of stuff happens. If you're Bedhead, you just got to stay calm and try to. I'd be trying to kick this 1 ball in. I'd hit this with a little speed because if you hit it soft, you're just going to sell out if you don't make it.
He's got the line. The line is there.
He needs to open this up a little. I think if he just hits it on.
Well, he's got to dice with the 6 ball.
Yeah, I think he can hit it without opening it up, maybe.
No, he has diced with the 6 ball now. He has to hope something gets messy, and I don't think it has.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked like he had to open that up some with some English, and he didn't do it.
A horrible piece of luck if you're Bedhead, where Stubb ended up, and Stubb's got the table wide open.
But again, guys, that's why you got to practice kicking. That was a hard kick shot, but I mean, think about if he would have hit it, he might have made it. He might have got lucky. The worst thing that could happen is giving him ball in hand, especially with an easy table.
Well, he's had a good look at the 3 ball. He's content to leave it at distance.
I think the difference between my attitude and a lot of players is I look at that as like, man, I got to hit this ball. And a lot of players, they look at it like, well, I hit it, but it was a hard shot and I missed it and there's nothing I could do. And that's where I tend to disagree is, you go practice a lot of kick shots. And I didn't start beating champions until I got to the point where I was kicking good, because it's going to come up all the time, especially with guys playing safe. It doesn't have to be a lucky shot. The guy plays safe on you, so you've got to kick good. And you're not going to hit them all, but it's a critical part of the game.
Well, he's got to get a decent line on this 8 ball. And he's just going to probably, well, he could go forward or draw back. He's going forward with loads of check. So, this for the match. And a 13-11 win.
Well, I'll give you an example. One of the matches I lost to Josh Roberts that I did not miss a ball. I missed 2 kick shots.
Well done to Stubb.
That was the whole match. Yep, Stubb goes through, and that's a tough one for Bedhead because he played well. I think Bedhead probably played as good as Stubb. Probably made less mistakes, but things went Stubb's way. They really did.
Well, that last one certainly went his way. So, where are we? We've got Stubb through.
Stubb's such an ass. Look what he typed in the lobby. If I lost, I'd have been pissed off. If I took my time, I'd have had you 13-3. He's such an idiot.
Right, we've got Stubb through, waiting to play the winner of Bill and Spectre Dawn. Now, in about 35 minutes' time, we have the match between Brain Fell Out and Nick. Now, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to go back to the main page. That's what I'm trying to do to get to the stats. Let's just find Stubb.
Yeah, the stats should look pretty good on this. I mean, these guys both played well.
Right, let's see if we can find him. There he is. Oh, shh. Why the hell does it do that? You try and delete one letter and then it just decides it's going to delete them all. Poland Power. Right, now stay there and don't move. Right, there we go. And Bedhead. And let her move. Right. 3.3 rack balls per turn. Shot percentage 87 for Stubb, 81. Break stats. They were both averaging a ball a break. Runouts from the break, Stubb 5, Bedhead 3. What you got after that first cock up with Stubb. Shot percentage 75 for Bedhead, 66 for Stubb.
Yeah, so Bedhead had an advantage there, although that doesn't tell you whether you had a shot on a low ball. But if you're still at the table, you know, at least you can push or play safe or do something.
Well, Rack's high run, Stubb had 3, Bedhead had 2. Rack's running total, Stubb had 5, Bedhead had 3. So now, if we go back to the main page, the matches that are now left are the one tonight between Brain Fell Out and Nick, which is in about half an hour's time. And I'm going to stick my neck out and say, well, Brain Fell Out's going to have to play out his skin if he's going to beat Nick.
He's going to have to put his brain back in to beat Nick.
Yeah. We've got Bill and Spectre Dawn. That is on Saturday at 8:30 my time. It will still be 8:30 my time before the clocks go forward at 1 AM in the morning on Sunday. We've also then got the match between Albinario and Bankster starting half an hour after the Bill Spectre Dawn match. Obviously the one I'm concentrating on is Bill Spectre Dawn, then I'm heading to bed. If that Albinario Bankster match is still going, I'm not going into it because I've got to get to bed after they're finished up at 4 on the Sunday morning. We've got One Pocket Slim and Semi Pro on Sunday at 7 PM, which is like 6 PM according to Steve, once the clocks do go forward.
Well, I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen. I suspect it may, but there's no absolutes here at this point.
Well, as I say, I'll check that on Sunday when I get home.
Well, when you wake up Sunday and you look at what you're looking at right now, it may show the correct time.
Well, it always has done anyway. It's never. I mean, whenever the clocks have changed, the tournament. Well, I have to say that we never had this. When did we put this? When did you put this in, Steve? Did we have this in at the last daylight savings change? You know, the schedule written up here like this. I don't think we did.
But, you know, the thing is the timestamps in the database, and so the timestamp is not changing, which is why I think it's going to be at 6.
Well, the last match is Larry versus Cobra. That's the round 5 match on Tuesday. So that's next Tuesday at 6:30. I'll be there for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. The next match I'm going to do an XSplit Gamecaster because that should be a lot more stable without the bells and whistles.
Right now, that match says it's at what time? It says it's at
what one are you talking about?
6 p.m. GMT.
What match?
The match on Sunday. Scroll down so everybody can see it because you've got your 2023 V9 BWC in the way.
Ah, right. Hang on. The one with Larry and Cobra.
The one, the one pocket slim and semi-pro. Well,
Right.
Larry and Cobra could. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Well, maybe it is right because it says GMT +1 because your normal time is GMT +0, so it is taken into account.
Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
'cause
It
the
is
one-
showing the daylight savings time because it says GMT +1. So
Right.
that will be the correct time then.
Yeah,
At
because
7.
the ones above it are before the
Yeah.
clocks change, and they're all saying GMT +0. Yeah.
It's amazing the software actually works.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the matches to come. I'll be back in about 25 minutes for the match between Brain Fallout and Nick.
Yeah,
now,
I'm going to come back too because I want to see Nick play some more.
Now, the thing is that no disrespect to Brain Fallout, and if he's listening, I'm going to speak honestly. He has probably overstayed his welcome, but it's all up to him. He's got to really play well. Even really playing well might not be good enough. And what's left in the tournament now, every player that's left in this tournament is all potential winners of it. Every one of them.
Semi-pros asking about fines for forfeits. Yeah, there's still fines for forfeits.
Now that's a good point, Semi-Pro. What match was it we were talking about in the stream? Steve wasn't there the other night. What match was it? Somebody there will remember because, in fact, it was Bill. It was Bill's match. Let's just have a look at the bracket because that has ruined Bill's stats. Now, where is he in the bracket? Bill's last match ended up in a forfeit, before the match was over.
You sure didn't send the stats? I know I did something so that at least the straight pull where it would send the stats when somebody ducked out.
If you look at the last match, Bill played Poolkabouter, and Bill has 13 racks. Poolkabouter has a forfeit next to him. So I don't know what happened there. Obviously, Bill knows the full story because he was in the match. But it sounds as if Poolkabouter bailed before the last ball went down. And that normally wrecked the stats. In fact,
did it not register the stats?
Well, that's the bit I don't know because my basic arithmetic can't work out how many racks he's played. Where are we? Where's Bill? Let's have a look.
Well, you can look at games won, right? Okay, so if you do a select player, if you click on Mr. Bill, it'll show all his matches in red. It'll highlight him.
Are you talking on the bracket?
So yeah, don't we have games won? Look in the common stats. Isn't there a games won?
All right, hang on. I'll come back out again. Right.
Isn't there a games won? I'm looking at the bracket. I can tell you what the number is. Go to the stats and look games won. So
right. Well, Bill is in 129.
30, 43, 56, 69, 82. He's won 82 games.
Yeah, 82. So he's 129 games, 82
yeah.
won.
So
that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It did register the stats. Yeah, I made a change where if somebody quit, that it's supposed to register the stats.
Yeah,
so it looks like it did work.
Yeah, it does look good. I mean, Bedhead's at the top there with 86. Well, he's in the top in that list. Let's have a look. 87 is Nick. Nick, of course, is playing tonight, so he's going to add to that. Bedhead, of course, now out the tournament in 86. Bill in 82, so he can catch up.
Who is Poolkabouter?
I don't know where he's from. I can't remember. But that was he played Brain Fallout in the winner's side, and it was a horrible match.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not a real strong player.
Germany. Right, guys, I'm quitting, and we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes for this follow-up match. So we'll see you then.
Yep, I'll see you in a bit.
We'll do it in the XSplit Gamecaster. We'll be back soon.
Good night, ladies.
machines, no bowling alleys, just pool.